Okay, this is a OkCupid Facebook story or Facebook dating. So crazy. So I was on Facebook dating and that shit went left. I'm not using that again. And those people are fucking crazy. I don't know. I joined some group and I just said like the same type of stuff I say on here that I say on my Facebook, and tons of people watch and listen, and no one's ever said anything. It's like, because I don't know what woman goes around like she's looking for micro penis. It's like, I'm not going to sleep with you before you marry me. I'm not going to do anything with you before you marry me. Maybe like kiss or whatever. That's about it. It's like, I might say some stuff, but anybody that knows me knows I'm pretty conservative in a sense of what I will do. And I identify as a Christian generally. And I don't believe in premarital sex or anything, but some reason, because like I'm honest with my views and stuff, I'm not going to tell a guy right away my views, depending, because sometimes people, because it's like I might not be into you and who knows how you'll react. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm not into that or whatever. But I feel that it's important if you're dating somebody, and especially if you're looking for a future, to know if somebody has micro penis or if someone's a biological man. Because it's like, if I'm dating somebody and I'm going to be like super, super Christian and not mention a penis, and then it comes down to like the wedding and everything, and then you wait till the wedding to find out stuff, wedding night, and then you find out this person has a vagina. And then you're like, wait, what? I don't like women. And then you're like, oh shit, I fucked up. But some people, because like, I believe in abstinence and stuff. It's like, I'm not going to say I'm like the purest. No, I've seen a penis. I've been to like strip clubs before. I believe live your life, do whatever, have fun. No sex, none of that. No living with someone, no, none of that before you're married. I strongly believe in all that. And I'm not going to say I preach it to people, because it's like, I believe in what I believe, you believe in what you believe. I'm not going to push my views off on you. But I'd want to know that someone is not a woman, a biological woman, before I married them or got into a serious relationship with them, because it's like, why? It's just going to end up in wasted time and feelings and whatever. But that's how I found out I was a rude bigot, because I guess you're not supposed to act. And I'm trying to figure out, if you look like a man, you sound like a man, but I kind of think you might be a woman, I'm not allowed to ask, because that's outing someone. But I don't know, because people randomly ask me questions that are inappropriate all the time. Like, people go like, oh, how big are your boobs or whatever, or how old are you? And it's like, they say it's rude to ask a woman her age. So, or if you ask me my age, why can't I ask your gender? Yeah, because it's like, some women have facial hair, and it's like, I can generally tell a woman with facial hair from a biological man. But that's a whole nother story. But there's this guy and this other guy. So there was this guy I was talking to. I realized he was a hobosexual, and then he stopped talking to me when he realized he couldn't live with me, because he kept trying to come to my house. He was like, can I come see you in like the middle of the night? And he would come and we'd talk, and he's like, can I come see you? And then I'm like getting freaked out. It's like, why do you need to come see me? And he's like, because I want to spend time with you. Then come to find out, he was like homeless, living in his car, and he was a hobosexual. And he blocked me on Facebook. And then he found me on OkCupid, and that was weird. But that was scary when he like really wanted to see me. which was scary because it was like you wanted to see me really bad in the middle of the night, and it turns out you were a homosexual. So then there's this other guy. He's a homosexual love bomber who lives with his parents, and he's like 34. And I was talking to him. He seemed interesting. He was short, and it was like, I'm trying to be a deeper person and date short people. He was 5'8". So we were talking, and he was telling me about how he was starting a new job on Friday. And I'm like, what do you mean you're starting a new job on Friday? It was like, what was your last job? And he was like, oh, he had a good job. He had a good government job, but he quit that after a month. He said he quit, but then he said they let him go. And it was like, yeah, I could see why they fired you. You seemed odd. So he was 34. He was living at home with his parents. And like, I don't really care if a guy has a car or not, because it's in a metro area, so it's easy to get around, and buses and trains and everything. And a lot of people don't drive. So that doesn't really bother me. But when he said he has a car because his grandfather died, that was interesting. He inherited a car from his grandfather because he died. Because if his grandfather didn't die, he wouldn't have a car. And that was strange. And then the fact that he told me he never moved out of his parents' house, and he's 34. So I'm thinking, this guy, he never moved out of his parents' house. And if he's getting jobs like his last job, which was a good job that probably paid close to $100,000 a year, if not more. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy, he has to have at least $500,000 saved up. At least. Because if he's never moved out of his parents' house, and he's made above minimum wage, because currently, right now, in the Bay Area, if you make under $104,000 in certain counties, you're in poverty. If you're single by yourself and you make under $104,000. So he had a good government job. So I'm assuming he made at least $75,000. And if he's living at home with his parents and he's not paying for anything, but then he was like, oh, I go on vacations and I pay rent and stuff. So I'm thinking like, okay, $20,000. You have to be putting at least $50,000 in the bank at least. And then he's like, no, because I'm thinking like, okay, you're 34. You've been an adult for 16 years and you've worked for 16 years. And even if you only worked regularly for, let's say, the past 10 years, I would think you'd have at least well over $100,000 in the bank if you've lived with your parents. But he's like, no, he's like, he only has $10,000. And I'm like, what do you mean you only have $10,000? And you're 34 and you've never moved out of your parents' house? And if you've had a job and worked and everything, you don't have any debt. You shouldn't have any debt because you live with your parents. And he's like, I've only saved up $10,000. Because I would assume if you're 34, you're not paying anything. You live with your parents. And you probably would have paid out your student debt like years ago because you don't have any rent or bills or anything. And he's like, nope. And then like the weird thing, he kept telling me that he loved me. And it was like, we only talked for like 15 minutes. And less than the first 3 minutes, he told me he loved me. And then it was like, I could tell you're a homosexual love bomber. And then he's like, I just like to tell people that I love them. And I'm like, okay. And it was like, he was like serious. He's like, I love you so much. When I see you, can I kiss you? And I was like, okay, this is weird. And I'm like, why? And then the guys do that weird thing where they try and get you to give consent before you go out with them. So, and I don't know if they record or what, but guys try and get you to give consent before you go out with them so they can try and do things to you. And I'm just like, okay, that's weird. And he's not the only guy I've heard that from. It's been a lot of guys. They try and get you to give consent. And it sounds like they're trying to like do something and record you so you can't like take them to the police or whatever. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like a weird thing that guys do. So this guy was weird, and he was like, I love you, I want to marry you, and all this stuff. And then we talk for a little bit, and then he just randomly hangs up on me. And then I call him back. I'm like, oh, why'd you hang up on me? Oh, and he's like, this isn't going to work. Because he was asking me, could I hang out tomorrow? And I'm like, no, I can hang out Monday. And then I'm like, okay, then we can hang out. And then he's like, okay. Then I'm like, okay, we can hang out Saturday. I'm like, you can meet me here. And he's like, no, this isn't going to work. And it's like right next to where you live. And it's like, why did you want me to go to this specific place? And it sounds like you might have wanted to try to kidnap me or something. And you wouldn't have had a chance in this location because too many people were going to be around. And it was just like weird. But he was like, it's not going to work out. But it was like the funniest shit. You loved me so much 1 minute. And then the next minute you hang up on me and you tell me it's not going to work out. Yeah, but it was funny because I was saying some weird shit. So I was like, will you let me put my finger in your mouth? He's like, can I kiss you? And I'm like, can I put my finger in your mouth? Can I put my finger in your butt? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, whatever. But he's like such a fake love bomber. Like he was looking for love bomb and like sex and shit. And it was like weird. So then there was this other guy. I started talking to him on Facebook, and then he was like weird, and he kept like messaging me and stuff. And it was like, I'm not interested. Because if like I'm keep saying okay and I'm not interested and like trying to ignore you and be nice and you don't get it, I'm just trying to be polite. And you just keep messaging me and stuff. And then it was like after a whole incident with like the crazy people where the whole thing went off on Facebook and the gaslighting and the trying to cancel me and all that crazy shit. I was like, I'm done with Facebook. And it was like, I understand why like kids, because it's like if it freaked me out that much and I'm an adult and like a kid does it and somebody does that to a kid, that's just crazy. And but then the next guy, he messages me. It was like he followed me or found me from Facebook to there. And then it was like at first I didn't know who he was, and I'm like, this name looks familiar and you kind of look familiar. And then he admitted it because he was trying to trick me, so I didn't remember. And then I'm like, this looks familiar. And then it turns out it was the same guy. And then we were talking, and I'm like, give me your number. And then I called him, and then he wouldn't answer because it's like, I'm not going to call you with my number out there so you can get my number and try and get my information and contact me without my permission. So I called, he wouldn't answer. And then I was like, why won't you answer my call? And he's like, I don't answer block numbers. And then we got in this whole thing about trust, and it's like, it was funny because that was when I realized he's the guy from Facebook and he's talking about trust. And I'm like, you tried to trick me. And then he starts talking about sex. And I'm like, wait, where did you get this from? He's like, we're both looking for sex. It's like, when did I ever say I was looking for sex? Nope, not looking for sex. I'm all into abstinence. Yeah, and it's like weird. And then I'm like, I'm not interested. And then I blocked him. It was strange. It's like weird when guys try and tell you what you're looking for and they tell you you're looking for sex and stuff. And it's like, nope, I'm not looking for sex. And then when I see like guys are looking for sex or hookups or whatever on their profile, that's like a turn off. And it's like, I have no idea where to find a nice Christian man or a man, period. It's like, I might say stuff that's inappropriate sometimes, but they always say, like, the person might say stuff, do stuff, might be, like, kind of crazy out there. Not, like, crazy out there, but, like, crazy fun, spontaneous, friendly, and all that stuff. I'm generally a nice, friendly person where people are, like, only have, like, nice things to say about me, generally. And people are, like, I'm just, like, a great person all the time. And I'm just, like, so nice, and I help people, and I do a lot of stuff. And then it's, like, these people are trying that I don't know just because I said something. And it's like, what woman in history has ever said she was ever said out loud she's looking for a small penis, micro penis? Because it's like, who wouldn't be pissed off if they got married and the guy had micro penis? And it's like, you waited your whole life to have sex, and you get married, and then you find out this guy has micro penis, and then it's like you're basically never ever gonna have sex unless you divorce this man. And then it's like, you don't believe in divorce. So then it's like, yeah, this is never going to happen. No sex, no kids, no nothing. And it's like, I know I say it's like a lot, but I I don't know. Because it's like everybody says something, and it's like some people are more outspoken than others. It's like, I'm not an outspoken person or anything. I'm a pretty passive, submissive person. Oh, I forgot this other guy. So this other guy, because that just reminded me, and I was saying I was passive, submissive, whatever. I'm not even really submissive. I'm just passive and I ignore stuff. So there's this other guy who just randomly matched with me, and I got the strong vibe he was homeless. And what gave me the strong vibe that he was homeless was when he told me I was going to die. And, and you're like, wait, what? He told you were going to die? And it was like, yeah. He basically messaged me, told me that I was a feminist and all this stuff. And it's like, I'm not a feminist, not anything close to a feminist. I would love to be married and have a husband and kids and come home and make my husband like a 5-course meal and have kids and everything. But I haven't met the right guy, and it's like, I don't even know where to meet a guy. Because I went to a small college, and a lot of the people were from another country, or they were in the military, or they were from somewhere else and moved away. So there weren't very many guys in my college. It was mainly women. And so I didn't really have any options in college. And then I chose a career where it's all women. Every now and then we might have a guy, but rare that he's straight. So I don't know where to meet a man beyond like going outside and maybe meeting someone that scares me and walks up to me and asks me out. But this random guy just on OkCupid comes to me, and he's like, you're gonna die, you're a feminist, you need to soften up and be submissive and all stuff. And I'm looking at his profile, and I'm not even saying this is all about money or whatever. I'm pretty passive, so I'm not going to fight with you. And it was like he was trying to create an argument with me and convince me that I'm a feminist and all this stuff. And it's like, I think feminists would probably be against me because I'm pretty much against sexual liberation, because I'm against sex. Like, in the sense, I don't believe people should have premarital sex, because then they'll get into situations that they don't want to have to deal with, like getting pregnant and having to decide about an abortion. I don't believe in abortion necessarily. It's not something that I would do necessarily, that I think I would do. But I'm not going to judge other people for it. Because I think, like, if you're a victim of a crime, then that's your choice if you do it. But it's like, if you're a hoe and you're just sleeping around getting pregnant and your form of birth control is abortion, I think that's definitely wrong, and there's no excuse for that. And I don't believe in divorcing constantly to sleep with different people and trying to be like religious and not like sleep with people out of marriage. And I don't think it's okay to have children with multiple different people and things like that. But he was trying to convince me I'm like this liberal woman and all this stuff that believes in all this stuff. And it's like, no, I'm not this person that you think I am. It was like, I don't know where he got this opinion, because he's like, you women and stuff. And then he's like, you're going to die alone with cats. And I'm like, I don't even like cats and all this stuff. And it was just like weird, where he was just like telling me I'm a feminist, I'm going to die alone. And it's like, yeah. But then I got the impression, based on what it said his job was, I got the strong impression I probably make more money than him, and he's a hobosexual that was trying to make me feel bad, telling me to be submissive, to do what he says, so I would let him live with me. Because those hobosexuals, it's that season, and they're coming out strong. I just thought it was hilarious, but if you like, watch and subscribe. Thanks for supporting my channel and for subscribing. Bye.